Welcome back to Combust Astrology. My name's Liv. Let's go ahead and get into Capricorn rising and how Saturn and Aries will be affecting you. You can also read this with the sun or the moon, ego, business versus your own emotional well-being. Okay, cool. So, you're a Pisces rising, and from the start of time, all you know is pain. I have to apologize. Truly, being incarnated with such a difficult rising sign in the era and or the past 30 years really has not been the funnest thing. Pluto has been a topic of discussion for you to keep in mind. Why is that? Well, in those 30 years, as I've said, Pluto has been in Capricorn, and it has also been in Sagittarius within that span of a block of time. During this period of time, Pluto's really been shifting you. First, it's shifted your subconscious, and then it literally shifted you as a person. And if you were born with Pluto in Sag or Capricorn, it hasn't been such a walk in the park either. It's very debilitating with your ability to choose what you want and also receiving love and receiving kindness and feeling like you're accepted by other people. So understanding this, what is it that we do moving forward as Pluto is now in Aquarius and also Saturn and Neptune are leaving your third house. Saturn in your third house kind of asks you to sober up, right? No more partying, no more fun, probably no more alcohol, but realistically, stop. You can't just ride the curtails of life because everything around you is so crazy. You actually have to try. And just because your home life is not exactly the best and you're expected to keep this legacy, kind of like the Virgo and Pisces, 10th and 4th house, that doesn't mean you have to. Right? Pluto squaring your 4th and 10th and then your opposition, it was not a fun piece of the pie. And as I'll be covering with Aquarius risings, it'll definitely change you. You don't even know who you are. Realistically, if you're born with either two of these Plutos, you don't know who you are yet. What do you mean I don't know who I am? Because you don't know who you are without the influence of Pluto. It's been in your subconscious and it's been directly on you. I'm not saying you have no free will, but I'm saying you really don't truly know what you like yet because Pluto has been constantly changing that. If you have Pluto in the 12th naturally and or the 1st, this is a whole process of getting to know yourself. But as Saturn left Pisces and you sobered up, the Saturn now in your 4th house is more about the family trauma. Saturn in Aries down there is kind of saying you have to do what you want because the square to the 1st house is really pointing out no matter how hard you try, how hard you help out, like it's not your burden. It's not. You don't have to keep face for the whole family last name. You don't have to try and keep it all together. You're not the glue anymore. Relax. Take the back seat. Let the ship sink. Let the building crumble. Let all of the things that you've been afraid of being perceived as because of the people that you can't choose happen. Let it come to light. And if anything, now that it's come to light, I want you to make the friendships and have the healing that you need to grow. I want you to work with people around you in order to really find these amazing new sources of income. Because your ability to see what it is that people need to make it better, the aesthetic eye that you have, it's an amazing gift. Aestheticism is something that not everyone has, but you have it naturally. You're like an honorary Venusian for that. because, Venus usually sees aestheticism for just itself, but because you're not exactly Venus, you see aestheticism, but you can only, well, let me not say only, but you like to really look at it from the point of view of how it helps others. And you're just so focused on making sure other people get that same level of freedom and desire and fun that you want. And that's why that 10th house Libra is very much like, hey, because of the trauma at home, I've probably found a way to make it so that my work is my life. All that I do is related to that. Because if we really talk about my friendships outside of work, it's not a good look. And if we talk about what I've done to get to that part of work, then we'll kind of realize that all I could think of was what I have to do to look good. There's nothing wrong with that. Trauma is trauma. I am not the one who set this shit all up. I would definitely have different rules, but it's just who you've been. Being a person that's ruled by Saturn, congrats. You've lost the lottery. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Please don't take it personally. You guys are living 3 lives. All right? You've come back to pay your dues in 3 lives, and you don't want to have to come back. I respect that. I do. But being a Saturnian, wherever Saturn is in your chart is where you got to tighten up. You got to pull that belt all the way back for all the notches and just suck it in. Because Saturn rules you. So where Saturn is important. And that's something in readings, whenever it comes to light, that I like to tell people. Your ruling sign really is one of the most important things when it comes to your chart, because if you're Venus rising, for instance, or you're Jupiter rising, you got to know where Jupiter and Pisces is. You got to know where Sagittarius and Neptune are in your chart. But then if you are like a Jupiter rising, aka Sag, and you got like 10 Capricorn placements, are you really a Jupiterian? Probably not, right? Because your chart could be masking. But if you are someone that has a predominant amount of Saturnian as well, or Martian Aries energy, this is even more so prevalent for you. This is not an easy transit if you can't detach. Like, this is truly like, it's simple in the aspect of you got to detach your identity from what it is the family needs from you. So that way, literally the rest of your chart can be enjoyable. Saturn's going to do its number, and then it's going to go into your house of 5th of fun, really, right? Stability, establish better friendships. But you cannot get the rest of what the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and then ultimately your career goal. You have to trek through all of these with Saturn, right? And the journey first requires for you to clean your own home. Because once you clean your home and you leave to go outside and have fun, you can have fun friends. You can make really sustainable habits. You could find a new peace. And these same people, in the future, you'll be able to bring them home with you. They'll heal trauma. After you find those new hobbies, it'll become eclectic. There's all sorts of things you can do. And it'll really help because your career is really focused on providing that balance and stability anyway. You guys aren't 9-to-5 workers, just in case you weren't aware. If you have an air sign, 10th house, you're not. You need either a lot if it was Gemini, or you need to do something completely different if it was Aquarius, right? So you're not going to be doing that, right? Every earth sign person is stable in themselves, but their career has to be different. Capricorn risings are ironically the only ones that will look for that balance because it's Libra, and the exaltation of Saturn there is going to basically desire that peace and really want itself to be whole. But after we look through the eclecticism of what it is that you're doing and we come into Scorpio to Cancer, you really want to make sure the home is peaceful, right? And we keep coming back to that 4th house. You get some fame, don't want to attract jealousy. You decide to rebrand and make things better and look for a new passageway. Still got to come back to make sure people support you as you go through your own war. So it's like Saturn in Aries is a very pivotal part because, as I've said for the other risings that have this, your axis here is like really important. Like this is the, I think it was this meridian, I think it's called. Sometimes I'll forget the official astrology words for stuff. But this is the daytime in the chart, and this is the nighttime. And so the cardinal points are important, and you are a cardinal rising. So your cardinal fourth house has Saturn in it, right? The cycle of going from fixed to mutable to cardinal is simply one of having an idea that you cement, and then from that idea you go into adaptation or change, and then from the adaptation or change you start anew. There is energy, free energy. Call it a thermal reaction, right? Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It stays within the system. And just like this circular chart that you see here, it's a centrifuge. You evolve. Your little children, these little placements grow constantly as they keep rotating in this spiral. So your job is to find a way to keep everything balanced. Truly, your job is balance. I know it's like, oh, well, balance, yay? No. Touch grass. Touch grass. Balance for you is important, right? When you have an Earth rising, you have a 10th house that is air. And when you have a 10th house that is air, your 4th house is fire. And when you have a 4th house that is fire, all you know is chaos. Because your water houses are where air should be, aka 7, 11, and 3. Therefore, you connect, you care, you desire more. Earth risings are very passionate people because their 8th house is fire. Their 12th house is fire. Their 4th house is fire. Your sensitivity to humanity is always one about change. That's just who you are. So when you're a Capricorn rising, your 10th house has to be important. I notice when doing readings, Capricorn rising's biggest issues is they were 30 years old at age 5 against their will, because usually the mother decides that she wants more for herself. The father, depending on the moon and the sun aspects as well for both of these, will also look at more. It's not a greed per se, but it's just more and more. And it's like the world is limitless, right? If it's, 4th house in Sag, then, that person's traveling a lot, right? Might be a military kid. Or immigration. And that's not related to the politics of the moment. I just want to say that. That's not at all what I'm saying, but just emigrating. So your 12th house and your 10th house, that sextile, as Saturn is in Aries, is going to be building this notion of the bigger picture. You're awakening that 12th house. And if you have placements, even more so, because Neptune will take its time trining that. This right here and the sextile between these two is what I call power. This trine, this opposition, it's a power play. This is almost like a football play card. But you want more, but you want to be free. So you have to change. You have to accept the new ways that you can make your own living as you have desired to get out of the situation that you're in. And with getting out of that and establishing those boundaries, you now have to make your home your home. And thus the cycle of Saturn will continue all the way back to your rising to see what you've done in that time. And that, Capricorn risings, is what Saturn in Aries is doing for you. It is getting this quarter started so that you can enjoy the next 3. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do some updates now. Everyone loves some updates. Hi. If you have emailed me Please do not send more emails if I have not responded. I'm not ignoring you, or maybe I am. I just simply have not had the time to respond. Love you, but there's one of me. I didn't realize, like you think it's like, oh, like at the current time, like my videos are averaging 100 to 300 or 400 videos. I'm like, that's not a lot of people. 400 people, 50 to 70 of y'all sending me an email. I very much undermined that. It's fun though. It's so cool. Thank you. I cannot make exemptions for hours. I'm sorry. Cause I do 3 other things outside of astrology. And so this is like a good way to get this spiritual itch, like that meme with what's his name, the comedian on that thing where he's itching. Get the itch out, right? So I might not be able to respond, but I will send you a video because, like I said, this space is plentiful. There are a bunch of astrologers on here. I am an astrologer, but I also just love kind of redirecting you to someone else because there are people unseen. So if you see me sending you a video and say, watch this, it's not just like, I just skimmed over your thing. I don't care. I'm sending you a video. It's like, I know exactly where you want to go, right? And that is a bigger part of this channel. My icon, the symbol is my sun, Chiron, and Mercury all together, looking at you and your issues through a keyhole. That's my gift. I see patterns. I see people. I can read you. I can look at your chart and see exactly what you need. Do you have to listen to it or choose it? No. But I'm very much an efficient person. I don't like wasting time. These videos usually won't ever be an hour because I'm not about to do that. But I'll get you to where you gotta go. So if you see me sending an email, it's not just like I don't care or something like that. The sound. I hope I fixed the sound issues. I've listened back to it. It sounded fine before, but I've kind of made the gain louder on the videos. So hopefully that fixes it. What else? The TikTok for the memes, Combust Astrology, Instagram for posting daily, transits. I'll be starting Uranus and Gemini soon. I think I'll do an introductory video tomorrow after all my readings for the weekend in person. And then that's about it. I'm just one person. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Oh, I dropped episode 2 of my podcast, Combust Astrology, at Spotify or Apple or Amazon or whatever else. That's all I got. Thank you so much for making it to the end credits. And I should do some like funny astrology stuff at the end. Like if you have a Mars in Leo, what's your favorite color to wear? Something like that, Yes, actually we're making that a thing. Because if you make it to the end, this is like a club and then you'll know, right? Like maybe I could do like an emoji, or actually just write out your favorite color to wear, whether it's like in a dress or a suit, something like that.